I'm Alex Kozovic, and coming up on WVU News, I'll tell you why potholes like this one could cost you hundreds.
I'm Josh Marshall, and straight ahead on WVU News, I'll tell you why your street might not measure up to Morgantown Fire Department.
The PI Reed School of Journalism and the world has suffered a great loss of a legacy. I'm Autumn Lonan, and our award-winning WVU newscast starts right now.
West Virginia University professor and accomplished journalist Dr. George Esper dies at the age of 79. I'm Alex Kozovic.
And I'm Josh Marshall. Ahead, we'll tell you about the life of Dr. Esper on WVU News, an award-winning newscast produced by television journalism students at West Virginia University.
Students, faculty, and former colleagues remember Dr. George Esper following his death earlier this month.
The journalism professor left behind a legacy of greatness in and outside the classroom.
WVU News reporter Autumn Lonan joins us now in the studio. Autumn spoke with students and faculty members who shared memories of Dr. Esper.
Yes, Alex. Those who knew him say that he was a dedicated journalist and teacher, but above all, everyone says he was a caring and compassionate man. The sad news of his passing quickly spread around campus with the help of social media sites like Facebook and Twitter. Within hours of George Esper's death, hundreds of people posted messages remembering the man who went out of his way for his students, his colleagues, and his friends.
The late Dr. George Esper took the journalism world by storm and is most famous for covering the Vietnam War for 10 straight years. But students and other professors here at West Virginia University told me he was more than just a great journalist.
He always took the time to get to know people. He really wanted to help people succeed.
And success was something that George Esper was well acquainted with. When he attended West Virginia University in the 1950s, he started his writing career right here with the student newspaper, the Daily Athenaeum.
It's pretty inspiring to know that he started out at the same place that I started out, and he did such great things.
Just hours after his death was announced, friends, students, and colleagues flooded his Facebook page to share their fondest memories reflecting on his career and his life history. Even the Foreign Ministry of Vietnam delivered a letter to the AP, where Esper worked for 42 years, to send their condolences and remembering a kind, caring gentleman and friend who impressed them with such professionalism and tenacity.
Not only was he an amazing professor, he was an amazing human being. He loved his students. That was evident, and I think that really kept him young.
He led a full life, surrounding himself with family and close friends. The following audio is an excerpt from a speech he gave at a war correspondence gathering.
To review our lives and to celebrate each other, to sit among those whom I admire and have loved for a lifetime. Thank you very much for having me here.
Esper's body was buried in his hometown of Uniontown, Pennsylvania, at St. George's Maronite Catholic Church. If you would like to post a memory, you can go to his Facebook page. The address is at the bottom of your screen.
Thanks, Autumn. In less than 30 seconds, a small flame can turn into a major blaze. And in the first few minutes of a house fire, room temperatures can reach up to 600 degrees.
That's why it's so important for firemen to get to your home quickly. But here in Morgantown, narrow streets are causing longer response times, and that could mean the difference between saving a life and losing one. When the Morgantown Fire Department responds to an emergency, seconds can mean life or death. But what happens when a fire truck cannot drive down a narrow street?
Usually there's cars parked as far back as they can, and the trucks can't make the turn to get down here, so they got a problem.
Fire Captain David Dzernak has been slowed by narrow streets and wants the community to understand what can happen if cars park on both sides of residential streets.
Increasing our response time from getting on scene within 5 minutes to that secondary company coming in maybe 7 minutes away, and it could have life and death consequences.
Fire trucks require a lot of equipment, from different hoses to a 10-foot ladder. The average fire truck is about 98 inches wide. And on streets like McLean, 98 inches is not enough room. But with a lack of parking in Morgantown, some residents have no choice but to park on the street.
Of course, nothing you can do. Just hope that if there's a fire, they get here in a timely manner and put everything out without somebody getting hurt or killed.
And while police do not ticket for street parking, fire officials are asking residents to be more aware of parking on narrow streets. There were 30 house fires last year in Morgantown alone. Officials ask if you have to park on both sides of the street, remember to park at least 15 feet away from fire hydrants. The Morgantown Fire Department says McLean, Weaver, and any other streets with parking on both sides are cause for concern. But there are other problems with roads in the area.
And if you live in Morgantown, I'm sure you'll agree that potholes are everywhere. And believe it or not, they cost drivers more than $67 billion on car repairs each year. I found out what Morgantown officials are doing to fix the problem.
The roads are feeling the heat this winter. That's because when the temperature changes, it puts stress on the pavement.
The potholes are always bad this time of year. It's just a seasonal thing. The roads have been freezing and then it thaws.
Susan Case hit a pothole in January, and the damages put a dent in her rim and her wallet.
The guy from AAA changed my tire. He pointed out to me that I had badly dented the rim of the tire. It wasn't just the tire, but it was the actual wheel.
Morgantown City Manager Terrence Moore says the city just approved a $350,000 budget to repair roads.
Well, the paving program in the city of Morgantown is necessary, as is the case in any other community throughout the United States, and that is an opportunity to improve roadway infrastructure, not only for aesthetic purposes, but quite frankly for overall strength and integrity.
Morgantown has a paving budget every year, and officials hope the upkeep will stop a growing problem.
But weather changes put extra stress on the pavement, making the problem worse. A tire like this one is about 6 inches wide.
And this pothole is about 10 times that size. That means it might be hard to miss.
Case says although road conditions aren't always ideal, she doesn't mind footing the bill for repairs.
You know, you can't blame anybody for it. It's Mother Nature.
The city plans to begin paving roads in May because there will be less traffic since WVU students will be out of town.
If there's a pothole in Morgantown that you'd like to report, you can request maintenance from Morgantown Public Works. The address is at the bottom of your screen.
While Morgantown is spending $350,000 repairing roads, Americans are dishing out trillions in healthcare costs each year.
And to keep healthcare costs down, preventative care is key. WVU News health reporter Kate Barr joins us now in the studio to tell you how to prevent a potentially fatal virus. Kate?
Each year, doctors diagnose about 12,000 women with cervical cancer, but the Gardasil vaccine protects against 2 HPV types that cause 70% of cervical cancer. And recently, the FDA approved the vaccine for boys. Although the vaccine does have side effects, I spoke with a parent who decided the benefits outweighed the risks. Human papillomavirus, also known as HPV, is the most common sexually transmitted virus. It is estimated that more than 6 million people contract it each year. But doctors say these numbers are on the rise.
The thought is like 75% to 80% of men, sexually active men and women in their lives will have one of these viruses.
There are approximately 20 million Americans currently living with HPV. Since 2006, the FDA has approved Gardasil to treat HPV in women, but now there's hope for men. Gardasil is the first vaccine to treat strains of HPV in both men and women. For many, receiving the vaccine is a personal choice. For Sabrina Dahlia, the decision was made for her.
We believe that it's just proactive. You know, it's the right thing to do. We believe in this vaccine, that we know that it's going to hopefully help down the road. And anything that's out there that can prevent or, limit the amount of the possibility of cancer, we're all for.
And the Dahlias aren't alone. More than 40 million doses of Gardasil have been distributed worldwide. Doctors recommend that boys and girls ages 9 to 26 receive the vaccine to help reduce their risk of catching the virus.
Here's something that's going to prevent cancer or going to prevent disease in your child, just like every other vaccine.
The vaccine is given in 3 doses and is effective against 4 of the most popular strains of the virus. According to Sabrina, the sting of the shot is worth the long-term benefits.
I think it's important to receive it because it lowers my risk for cervical cancer.
The shot is covered under most healthcare plans and is also part of the Vaccines for Children program that provides free vaccines to those who need it. If you are considering getting the Gardasil vaccine, you can find more information at www.gardasil.com.
Thanks for that report, Kate. I had no idea, Josh. The disease affects about 20 million Americans.
Well, that's a really overwhelming number, but coming up in sports, reporter Sabu Majarian tells us how the Mountaineers are preparing for every basketball fan's favorite time of the year.
Majarian, and straight ahead on WVU News, I'll tell you how the West Virginia basketball team is getting ready with March Madness right around the corner.
For college hoops fans, it's almost that time of year again.
And we're already midway through February, meaning the NCAA tournament is right around the corner.
WVU News sports reporter Sabu Majarian is here with more on the WVU men's basketball team. Sabu?
Thanks, Alex and Josh. The men's team is looking ahead to the Big East tournament and March Madness. With only a couple weeks left in the season, the men's team has their work cut out for them. Since 1991, only one team coached by Bob Huggins has failed to make the NCAA tournament. With a roster loaded with freshmen and a conference winning percentage around 500, that streak might be in jeopardy. There were a lot of questions to tip off the 2012 season for Bob Huggins and the West Virginia basketball team. Could a team with 7 freshmen win in the highly competitive Big East? Could a team only returning 4 players make it back to the NCAA tournament?
They got to grow up quick. I mean, they've been doing a great job of that, though, been getting better, asking questions, starting to finally learn plays. So, I mean, it's just good to see that. And I think that we're starting to gel as a team.
After testing the NBA waters, Kevin Jones returned for his final season, joining classmate Daryl Truck Bryant as the only seniors on the team. Jones has been a monster for the Mountaineers, making his case for Big East Player of the Year by leading the conference in scoring and rebounding.
Of course, I'm not going to force anything. I'll let the game come to me. I know I'm going to get my shots. I mean, I played 40 minutes, so I know I'm going to get my shots here and there. So it's just all about not forcing things.
KJ could be the first Mountaineer to be named Big East Player of the Year. Jones might not be the only recipient of a conference award, as freshmen Jabari Hines and Keaton Miles have been significant contributors while starting all 24 games.
We've won some close games with that many freshmen. I mean, we can sit and say they're freshmen and lose, or we can, kind of call them players and try to go win.
West Virginia remains in the middle of the pack in the Big East with a tough remaining schedule. The question Mountaineer fans have is how this team of underclassmen will respond with the season on the line. In the 6 games they've played against ranked teams, West Virginia has just 1 win. That mark will need to improve if the Mountaineers plan on getting in the big dance. Alex and Josh, back to you.
Well, hopefully West Virginia comes up with a strong win to what has been a tough season.
I'm sure Sabu will keep us updated on how their season goes. Well, that wraps up WVU News. Remember to visit us online at our website. I'm Josh Marshall.
And I'm Alex Kozovic. You can also watch any of our broadcasts on YouTube. The address is at the bottom of your screen.
Plus, follow us on Twitter. Thanks for watching WVU News. We'll see you next time.